What's the deal? I'm LATWAN, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this shit real quick, bro. Hey, you ever had them times in your life where it's like, where shit just felt like everything was just coming down on you? You know what I'm saying? Where it was just like everything was just over with. Like you was just in a deep depression, your financial situation was fucked up, your love life or platonic friends or, you know, just relationships as a whole was fucked up and you just found yourself in a dark spot. Now, I'm sure everybody has experienced this experience at least one time. Now, my question to you is, during this experience, how did it feel? You know what I'm saying? Like, were you, what I'm trying to say, were you basically like, do you remember how it feel as far as like when you were going through that versus how you feel now? And a lot of us, I think a lot of people don't look at the victory and losses. And that's what I'm gonna title this video, the victory and losses, because it's actually a victory when you lose, because of course, in that moment when you losing or whatever it is you losing at, you know what I'm saying, you feeling the emotions that most people don't wanna feel in the moment of losing. But in reality, like in hindsight, say after that situation passed or whatever, you really realize like it was really nothing but emotions at that time, and whatever the situation was, it was never really that big of a deal. And to me, I feel like that's a sense of liberation, because it's like, well, if I apply that same thinking to everyday thinking, and not just only catching the shit in hindsight and stuff like that, how would my life be then? You know what I'm saying? What would that allow me to get control of then? So, like I said, the title of this video is the victory and losses. I think a lot of people don't like to lose. I don't think anybody likes to lose, but I feel like there's actually honor in taking losses. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're a person that can take a loss and, you know, not become too fucking emotional, which there's a lot of people out here that, you know, they dealing with other issues, but it spills over into other stuff. Because I don't think anybody just snaps just for one singular reason. You know, normally I think people just snap because they've been dealing with something for a long period of time, and then it was just, that day was just the perfect fucking time to catch them, and you know, boom. But the victory and losses, I feel like, are the best loss. The worst loss that you get in life, I feel like, if you actually sit down, because for me, this is what I've experienced. If you actually sit down and think about that shit, it was actually your best victory, because you realize, okay, I went through all that shit, you know what I'm saying, emotional turmoil or whatever somebody's been through, you know what I'm saying, that just put them in a dark, fucked up moment. And then you just sort of realize, like I said, you realize after all of that, you like, damn, I'm still here. I still got my health. I'm still, you know, fully functional. You know what I'm saying? I still can change the course of my life at will. It's just up to my willpower. And it's like, when you sit and you think about that shit, it's like, what is there to complain about? What is there to, at that point, why would I be scared to lose? That's what it makes me question. Because it's like, if you can look at a loss in hindsight and it don't bother you, does it really bother you? Or is it just you've been conditioned to be bothered, you know what I'm saying, by taking losses? Because everybody want to be an entrepreneur nowadays, but to be an entrepreneur, you gotta take risk. And risk involves money. And you know how people are with money. You know what I'm saying? They only want to really buy the stuff that they desire. I'm not going to really, you know, indulge in all of that, but they really just want to buy the stuff that they desire. They don't really desire to be an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if a person desires something, just like a cigarette smoker desires that. Like, they could say in their mind how they fucking want to, I don't want that shit. But their body is gonna be like, man, you need to go ahead and get that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's 9 times out of 10, that always wins. That emotion always wins. So it's just, I just think in life, man, it's a lot of fear. Like losses, the fear of loss paralyzes you from moving forward. Especially if you know, experienced like above average trauma, because I feel like everybody got some form of fucking trauma. Ain't nobody perfect. So I don't care what nobody say, you know what I'm saying? But some people, trauma is worse than others, of course. But the fear of loss, I think that paralyzes adults the most, because we get comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Folks get comfortable and you want more. In your head you want more, but you don't build the will up, you know what I'm saying, to go do it. And that's a disconnect. Like you'll never get more. You'll never even be in the mindset, you know what I'm saying, to get more, because you'll never even understand that mindset it take to get there without first doing, you know what I'm saying, what you thinking about. And that's what I've come to learn about all of this shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's the losses, it's damn near like, it's damn near to a point to where it's like, I'm not gonna say I look forward to losses. I'm not gonna say I look forward to like hate or nothing like that. But like when I see it, it's just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's no longer like, of course I feel that little whatever emotion, but after a while I'm just like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what's up. Like it's something. Just like, cause I had that situation happen on my YouTube a few months back when a guy had commented something on there, and he was basically like saying I didn't do a real push-up or whatever, and it was cool. I ain't finna argue with this random dude on YouTube. So I was like, okay, whatever. And he just kept going. So it just showed that I was like, bro, you just trying to troll. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that big of a deal. Like, that's a quote unquote, if you going off your ego, if you living off your ego, losing an argument is a loss, and you know what I'm saying, and it matters. But that's your fucking ego. Like, who cares who's right or wrong? Nobody gives a fuck but you. And even then, you give a fuck for that 5-10 second frame, and then you're on to something else to give a fuck about. So in reality, nobody gives a fuck, you know what I'm saying, who is right or wrong. So it is what it is, but there's definitely victory and losses. You just gotta have the clarity to see. I am LATWAN. I'm dropping Ride or Die this week. I gotta finish mixing it and all that shit. So make sure you be able to check that out. It'll be on all streaming platforms and stuff like that. And make sure you subscribe, make sure you like. This is food for thought. You do the dishes.